above Peanut Lake Road right here. So I have a natural avalanche that happened sometime yesterday or last night. And right about here we've got about a 12-inch crown on top of a surface hoar layer that was formed and buried last week. So last January 18th we had a really unusual widespread surface hoar layer form. And we are seeing it now almost every aspect. It still is somewhat spotty in its distribution, but we're seeing some widespread avalanche activity on this layer near town, and I expect as you go deeper into the range or at higher elevations, you're going to see these crowns, rather than a foot deep, you're going to see them 2 feet or more deep. And the hard thing about this layer is it's not easy to identify. Like, you can't see it by looking at a slope. You definitely can't see it by probing on the slope. So you do need to dig into the slope and take a look and see if it's there. And even then, pits and column tests can be hit or miss, because as you change aspect or as you change slope angle, you might find that it's in one spot and then it's not in the other. So tricky problem that we have going on right now. This is on a southwest aspect. A lot of times we see when we get these surface hoar events, the surface hoar gets cooked off on sunny slopes, but in this case we are seeing it even on southerly aspects. And this is especially scary because it's on a crust. This was a snowplow triggered or something right alongside the road, but a good indicator of what we have going on in the backcountry too. All right, we are hitting near tree line now. This is one that we remotely triggered from at least 200 yards away. And you can see the slab is a little thicker here because we've had some wind loading. This surface hoar layer, it's like a cougar waiting to pounce. You can't see it. We were getting some feedback. We're getting some small collapses and a few shooting cracks, but right now you can either stick to low angle terrain, you can go towards slopes that have already flushed, and as we progress over the next week or so, we'll get a better idea of where you're most likely to trigger this. And you can do snowpack assessments, but both of those carry with them a little uncertainty, and there's a lot of variability with this type of layer. So this is a tricky layer. We got to be heads up right now. So with this type of persistent weak layer, we can remotely trigger it from flat terrain. Sometimes that means below the slope you can remotely trigger it and it'll come down on you. That makes it really tricky. When we can see really unusual propagation with a weak layer like this. Like, we're already seeing wide propagation. The slabs are still pretty soft. As these slabs stiffen or in more wind-loaded areas, we already have a harder slab, and we're going to see some impressive propagation on areas where that surface hoar layer is reactive. And surface hoars are slow to gain strength, so unfortunately we're going to have to be patient with this one, and we'll see how it goes over the next few weeks, but it's not going to heal right away. Okay, now I'm on a southeast aspect, same elevation band. We're looking at similar size slab. Now we've got a crust with a surface hoar layer right above the crust, which is just as scary, if not scarier. As I'm placing my hand on the shovel, there's our slab, surface hoar on the bottom there. So the rule of going towards sunny aspects right now does not apply, because we're seeing this on those crusts as well. Yeah.
Sudden moves.
Like, is this too fast?
Yeah, well,
Oh, my hand, see?
that's a little quick.
You see what he did?
Yeah, you got to be a little more deliberate in your movement.
Okay, here we go. I'm getting in.
Ricky, control your heart rate.